So we're going to look at how to do some unit conversions here in this video. You'll see up top I've got a bit of a conversion chart. This is linked on the reference sheet you'll see on the left of the Fish Math page. So if you're not sure about any of these, you can just reference that and use that. It's pulled right off of the regions formula sheet that you'll get for any New York State regions math test. All right, so first thing it says here is to convert 117.1 pounds. I'm not sure why I use PD, LB, into kilograms. So what we have to look for is some kind of conversion between there, and you'll see here 1 pound is that many kilograms right there, 0.454. So we can use that, and we can say, well, we can do a proportion here if you'd like. So 1 pound is 0.454 kilograms. And then we could say, well, that has to equal the same ratio of 117.1 pounds over X kilograms. And then from here you can find a scale factor. So it looks like going from 1 to there is obviously times 117.1. So times 117.1. And you can use our calculator and get that answer. So 0.454 times 117.1 is our kilograms. So this is really helpful to use a proportion because sometimes you don't know whether to multiply or to divide by a ratio or by a unit rate that you're given, 1 pound equaling the 0.454. Obviously, if you do the wrong thing, divide when you're supposed to multiply, you get the wrong answer. So let's check here. The answer should be, there it is. That's how many kilograms. Forgot my unit there. Okay, let's try another one. If I hit generate here. So feet into miles, so very similar. Feet into miles. So I'm going to take this number of feet, and I don't know the number of miles, but I do know a relationship between feet and miles here. So a mile is always equal to 5,280 feet. So 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So we're again looking for a scale factor. I want to get to my answer X here. So it helps to find a scale factor that gets you to X. So kind of right to left in this same direction from here to there. So therefore from here to there. So on my calculator, I'm going to type in the 19,008 and divide it by the 5,280 to find that scale factor I'm looking for. So it looks like times 3.6 to both of these. So 1 times 3.6 would be our miles, which is 3.6 miles. That's a pretty easy multiplication. And that's our answer. Not too bad. Seconds in a day is a little bit trickier here. So for this one, I'm actually going to show a different method. You could definitely use a proportion for this, but the problem is you'd have to get seconds into minutes, and then into hours, and then into days. So it would take a few proportions, a few little middle steps in order to get there. So I'm going to show a different approach. So this approach is called dimensional analysis, where you take the given thing, start with that, that's number of seconds, and you want to get into days. So I want to multiply by fractions that are equal to 1. And the key part of that is we want to get into the unit that we need without changing the number itself. You can't just do times 5 or divide by 2 or whatever, because you want to get into the right unit. So you want to get to days. So in order to do that, we have to multiply by something that's equal to 1 that somehow converts the units. So I know that there's 60 seconds in 1 minute, there's 60 minutes in 1 hour, and there's 24 hours in 1 day. So those are equal, which means I can do something like this. I can put 60 seconds here and 1 minute here, and because those two things are equal, when I divide them, it would be 1. So I can multiply by this fraction here because it equals 1. That allows us to change the units. And the reason I put the seconds on the bottom here is because that'll cancel with the seconds up top. Because technically, if there's no fraction, this is over 1, and that's up top. And that would get me to minutes. But I want to get all the way to days. So I want to do this a couple more times. I want to get rid of minutes. So 60 minutes in 1 hour. That'll get rid of minutes. And I'm a little bit out of space, so I'm going to slide over. So then that times, I want to get rid of hours, 24 hours in 1 day. So what that does is it gets rid of the hours, the minutes, and the seconds, and we're left just with the number of days. Simply multiply across the top now, and you'll get that number we started with, the 501,120 days, because the days are left, but you have to divide by the 60 times the 60 times the 24. So it's not that many days, it wouldn't make any sense. But if I divide by that, I'll get the number of days. So let's give that a shot. So 501,120 divided by, notice how it puts this into a fraction, which is helpful. If it didn't do that, you'd have to use parentheses. I'm going to show them anyways, but we don't need it because it automatically put it into a fraction for us. So there we go. So if I just type that in, divided by that whole thing in parentheses, I get actually how many days that many seconds is. If I do show answer, you'll see it right there. That's how we do some conversions, either using a proportion or using what's called dimensional analysis.